we're good to go whenever.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for stopping in the Dissonant Echoes podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Gutierrez, joined by co-host Alan Brookie. Today we have guest Sean Henderson.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man. Okay. So a couple things before we get started. We have a couple housekeeping things. We still have Liminal Animal vinyl, Gnashing Teeth vinyl, Mind Prisoner tapes. We have pre-order for the new Teach Them to Weep. And what else we got, Alan?
Well, the new Pull the Strings album is out digital. And there is something else. What is it? I don't know. I'm sorry. Whoever you are, my apologies. We got a lot of merch you can check out. Actually, we're going to be possibly changing merch stores, so don't check it out right now.
Yeah.
I just ate my words there, but
yeah, check out hauntologyrecords.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, that's where everything's at. Go there. And I know Pull the Strings is on Ampwall as well. We'll be getting some other artists on there soon, because that's a whole new frontier as well.
Yep.
Let's see. Well, we got Sean on. I feel like it'd be really cool to do like what we've all been listening to, all three of us.
Okay, cool. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I could start. So, as all of you know, if you've listened to the podcast before, actually nobody listens, so nobody knows. But self-deprecation aside, I'm anti-streaming. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's ethical. That said, unfortunately, I have bought a month of Spotify recently for personal reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. It's convenience and because I'm broke, guys. Okay, that's why it is. But because of that, I'm going to pull it up right quick because it's the easiest way for me to check out what I've been listening to recently, which has been Infinite Granite, the Death Heaven album, the last one they released. I've been listening the shit out of that. Really excited for their new one that's about to drop. Just an amazing album, as everybody knows. It's no surprise. Like, if you're into extreme metal and especially post black metal, you know about that album, or at least about Death Heaven. And then I've just been listening to a bunch of like post-hardcore, like a lot like Birds, Off-Road Minivan, stuff like that, And, I'll be completely transparent. A lot of my own music, too. I've been listening to a lot of the stuff I've been working on lately.
Nice.
Some of which I'm pretty stoked about. That's the main stuff. There's other things I've checked out, but that's the main stuff right there. So I'll hand it over to you, Adrian.
Well, I haven't been listening to a whole lot, but I've been getting into this Martre. I don't know. Martre record. Martre. The record's called Ophelia. It's like it's scary. It's black metal, but it's a very harsh. It's like kind of like blackened grindcore, and very spooky. I really like this album a lot. If you're watching, right here, not sure if you can see that one. Check it out on Bandcamp. It's absolutely killer.
Martre, never even heard of him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's super underground. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not saying a whole lot that I haven't heard of a band. Like, no disrespect.
Yeah, no, they're. It's a one-man project, I believe, from Denmark. Really cool stuff. Really, really. I don't know. I've been getting into a lot of the more harsh stuff lately, so recommend checking that one out for sure.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm actually going to follow through on it because I'm looking for noisy, harsh stuff.
Yeah, that's
kind of up my alley right now.
I don't know. I really like just the opening track, Armor of Gold's killer.
Yeah, I just added it to my wish list. I'll check that out. Anything else come to mind, or is that the main one?
That's the main one I've been playing lately.
I got you. So what about you, Sean?
I was pulling up my Bandcamp here because I couldn't remember. But, this isn't new, but Nephilim's Noose. Like, I just found them. I heard of them a while ago, but I had never really checked the album out, but it's like death doom, and it's so fucking good. It's like I very few times do I like listen to an album and then immediately hit repeat and just play it all over again. And that's what I did with this album. I think I listened to it 3 times in a row the first time I heard it. The name of the album is Blood Chance Blood Chance of Impiety. But and it looks like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but
Yep, just wish
it's
listed that as well.
so good. And then the new Burning Palace is also really good, like new death metal.
Burning Palace?
That's a Total
Yeah.
Dissonance Worship release, right?
Oh,
Yep.
that one.
Yeah, they just put that one out.
Definitely,
it's
I still
really
gotta
good.
check that out for sure.
Yeah, I actually bought the vinyl.
It seems like
for
we
that
bring it up
one.
almost every episode, but like I don't even have to like listen to this to know
Yeah.
that it's good, because they get swamped with submissions and have to like sift through and get the best stuff. So
That a lot like Bird stuff. I mean, I haven't listened to them in forever, but I used to absolutely love them.
yeah, man, that's cool. You know, where the thing we all three have in common for sure is like extreme metal, but a lot of the times I'm listening to softer stuff too.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of my favorite post-hardcore bands for sure. I mean, the writing is so just completely just messed up. Like stuff goes on for longer than it should, but then when it finally resolves, it's just like, oh yes.
Dude.
Yep. Yeah, their first, even like their first like demo, I think it is, or it's just like an EP, is really good. Like I think I can't remember if that's the band that for their last album they lost their main vocalist, or I don't know. It was one of those swancore bands, but
I have heard it. I haven't listened to it all the way through, that first album, or maybe there's an EP before that I don't know about. But it's the one where they didn't even have Kurt for that album. They had, what's his name? Can never remember your name, bro. Sorry, dude. Michael. He is one of the guitarists in the band. He actually did vocals on that first album.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, no, they also did have a different vocalist on their last album as well. It was Corey. He did all the cleans, and he did a great job on that album.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I listened to that album, but everything before that, I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good stuff. Well, cool. It's that I wasn't expecting to have a common denominator of some post-hardcore stuff today, but that's really cool. You were telling me actually, Sean, that you used to be in like a metalcore band, weren't you?
Yeah, Terrasick, down in North Carolina. My buddy who was getting out of the army asked me to. Well, it was kind of the timing was kind of funny. My job was they had built a new distribution center in Arizona, and I was kind of training to go down there, and he called me up and said, "Hey," and this was like, I don't know, it would probably be like a month, and I would be going down to Arizona, and then he called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to start a band and down here in North Carolina?" And I I just decided to do that instead, and it was interesting, but yeah, it was a fun time, I guess, but I'm glad I'm back in Pennsylvania. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the South, but that's where I'm from. I live in South Carolina, so Pennsylvania to me feels like a foreign country to me. Like honestly, like I've only been to a couple places there, but it's just a totally different culture. So
Well, the weather's definitely better in the South, but I don't know what it was. I think I got pretty heavy into drinking, and that probably did something to me, but yeah, it was just a roller coaster of
yeah,
down there. But
yeah, and that music's still available, but I think you told me that you don't know where the money is going to, like the PayPal.
I ended up getting access to it, so
Okay,
yeah.
so Terra Sick, if you want to check that out, everybody on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good place to start, but we really need to go back before that. So let's like rewind. You know, the typical podcast host thing. Um, you know, we did this. I did this to Adrian. He did it to me. So now it's your turn, Sean. So let's just talk about how you got started with music. Like, what were you listening to growing up?
Well, I think I heard you say something similar, Adrian, but the first thing that got me into music was the Beatles.
Yeah.
My dad showed them to me, and I think it was Abbey Road. I don't know, whichever album starts out with the song Two of Us. But I used to just like listen to that album over and over in bed. And that's probably like the first thing that got me into music. But then I think the first album I actually bought was a fucking Enya album. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like uh I think she might be Irish or something, but it's like very, you would know the song if you heard it, but it's
Yeah.
like Only Time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
rings a big bell. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I've got the hook in my head.
whatever album that's off of. That was the first one I ever bought. And then from then it was like Blink 182, and yeah, that's pretty much what
Okay, so
got me started.
how old would you have been when you bought the Enya album?
Oh, I think I was in like 6th grade. There was our English teacher. She like played it it was like in some video that she played for class. And I heard it and I was like, holy shit, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. And like that night, I asked my mom if we could go to Walmart, and I bought it.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever, just as a brief aside, I don't think I've ever mentioned, maybe I did, what my first CD was, but it was the Black Album by Metallica. So very,
Hell
very
yeah.
stock standard, like this is why I'm a metalhead now kind of thing. But you started with like, that's like what, pop?
It's like, it's almost like a spa music or
Okay.
something. Like it's, I don't even know what you'd classify
Yeah.
it as. It's one of the like, kind of like on late night infomercials whenever they play weird shit. It's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna have to listen to that because I think
Dude,
I know,
it's so good.
I think I know what song that is. I think I have the hook stuck in my head, and if it is what I think it is, then it is really good. Yeah.
And then for my senior project, my friends, couple friends, like they're like, "Hey, you play guitar?" And one of them played bass and one played drums, and then so we just kind of made like a 4-track really terrible EP for our senior project. And then we started playing shows, and that was my first like shows I ever played. It was like a pop punk band, and I was playing guitar and singing in it. And I should say singing. We were really bad. I didn't know what I was doing at all,
Yeah.
but it was
But
fun.
you had the audacity to do it, you know. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know, I mean, I know for myself, I had a couple friends that played music in high school, but the thought of actually playing for people, I would have never done that, not in a million years.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, well, I mean, before every single show, even now, I mean, I haven't played a show for a couple years now, but uh I so nervous. Like I it's yeah, I feel like sick to my stomach every single time.
okay, yeah.
So that never went away for me.
So pop punk, and you're playing guitar and singing, and then I don't want to dig into like your whole life history, and you can talk about as much as you want, but like I don't want to be the psychiatrist here or the psychologist here. So help me get from there to extreme metal.
Uh that's a well, as weird as it sounds, like there's this place near where I live that used to play really awesome shows, but this is also I live in a town where it's a lot of old people, and they don't tend to like really heavy music for some reason. But
Can't imagine
there
that.
was a but there was a place around here that used to play shows. He would actually get some pretty big acts in there, but during one of the shows, this kid, like, it sounds so stupid, but like, he wasn't even in the show or anything. He was like just a kid, and he stood up on this chair and like yelled out feeling free," from like, he was just like emulating an Under Oath song. And I was
Okay.
like, for some reason, whenever he did it, I was like, I I don't know what it did to me, but I was like, I love that. So I like found Under Oath, and then that's pretty much what got me into heavier music. And
Awesome.
but the heavy stuff, it took me forever to get into. Even whenever they put out Define the Great Line, I remember being like, this is too much for me. And now I look at that and I'm like, I don't know. I think I just kept progressively getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, I mean, Under Oath is another big touchstone for me too. That was one of my kind of commonalities with my friends in high school was that band. Everybody kind of really liked Under Oath. And like even my friends' moms would be like, "Yeah, I like it until they start the screaming," because Aaron's voice is so good. But
Yeah.
um, so yeah, you were like into like pop punk. I can see how you could be into Under Oath very easily because of that. It's a similar kind of thing, just more emotional, right? So
Yep.
and then you connect with somebody like doing that at the concert. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Starting to form a picture here. You got any questions, Adrian?
uh, well, I don't know. I guess like we could talk about like teach them to weep and stuff, and kind of what led to that.
Yeah, I mean that was my next question, but I just wanted to know if you had any like pit stops before then. But I mean, I've got it pulled up here on Bandcamp. It looks like the first release was a kind of collaboration you did with, and I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this artist's name. You'll
I
have to do it
can't
for me.
either.
You can't either. All
Nope.
right, we're all just screwed here. But you did a collaboration with an ambient artist, right? And that was your
Yes,
first release.
I'm gonna guess it's Seraphita,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm not really sure.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really awesome artist, by the way. I have checked out their stuff, and I do enjoy it as well. Um, but yeah, that's the first thing that you released is "Teach Them to Weep," and that was in April of last year, so relatively recent. So just talk about that. How'd that come about?
Well, that was just, I guess, my first time really experimenting. Uh, I guess most of my musical life, I've like relied on other people to write music, and then I'll put vocals to it. But I didn't really know where to turn to for like this kind of stuff. And I honestly thought I pretty much thought my whole life up until this point, up until like a couple years ago, that I didn't know how to write a song or how to do anything like that. I just thought that it was too hard. I think I was making it too much of a thing in my head. I think my dad had always told me like, it's just got to be something you're born with. Some people are born with it, some people weren't, or whatever. And I thought that maybe I wasn't. Well, then I I don't know. I guess I decided to just experiment, and
Yeah,
I'm not super happy with how that one turned out, but I think that's how I always am. Every time I put something out,
yeah,
um, like, I'm just not happy with it. But I mean, that's even how this EP now is. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys know. Like, you you don't really know if it's anything's good or not. At least that's how I feel with my stuff. I just go like, yeah, I really don't know if this is any good, but for some reason, releasing it like frees it from my mind, and then I can work on new things. And in fact, like the new, I'm working on new stuff now, and it's so much better than that. So I don't know. It's like a release.
I mean, I feel what you're saying. As an artist, I definitely relate to the feeling. I do think it kind of recedes with time. Now that you're writing your own music, it will eventually get better, I feel like. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just a little bit of encouragement there. Like you'll eventually be more confident as you're writing something like this is pretty good.
Well, that's how I feel like that's how I always feel. I until it like gets to the point where I put it out. Like I was feeling really good about this EP, and then closer it got to the time to like put it out and everything, and I know it's not out fully right now, but it's still pretty much it's coming out. And now
Yeah,
I just don't.
Hypnagogic Dayblooms we're talking about, the new one that's up for pre-order right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's probably gonna be out by the time this airs. Now I'm thinking about it. So
Yeah, it'll be linked in the
Sweet.
description, everybody.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but no, I mean you're totally right. It's the more you listen to it before release, the more problems you find with it, and then
Yeah.
you just criticize yourself, and that I don't think that ever fully goes away. But you do, I think, with time, at least for me personally, you do just get better at writing songs, naturally,
Yeah.
because I would have to disagree with the people that say you're born with it or you're not. I think it's a muscle you can exercise and make stronger. So yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's like I was saying that's how I feel about like now the stuff that I was just writing like last night. I feel like it's 10 times better than this, but I think that's probably healthy. I mean, I guess that's means I'm continuing to progress, but yeah.
yeah. I was wondering, like, have you always done those kind of vocals, or like, is it?
No.
Yeah,
In
it's like,
fact,
yeah,
no, actually the reason why is because I can't do the type that I was doing for like Terrasic.
mm,
I've tried and I like well, first off, I know I was never doing it right. After every show, I felt like I got hit by a train.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like my I I've never done vocals correctly. I know that. But the this stuff, I feel like I could do it for days. Like this style,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
and it feels a lot more. It feels a lot better. It doesn't hurt.
yeah. I used to do the low vocals, and I still do for the death metal, but like it really irritates me. So the higher pitch ones are way easier for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah. There's always everybody's got like us harsh vocalists will have like some techniques that are a little bit more strenuous than others that we try to reserve for like you know especially live. We don't do them all the time, or we couldn't do the set, kind of thing. Um, but it's one of those things. I would love to talk about it a little bit more now that we've got you on, Sean, because I have a pretty wide range of harsh vocals I can do, and some of them are not sustainable. Like my black metal vocals that I do for Pull the Strings, I feel pretty rough the day after or the
that
night
album's
after.
awesome. By the way, I've been meaning to say that.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
I
I love
appreciate
it.
that.
That one song, oh my god, I can't remember what it's called, but it gets stuck in my head. Like, oh god, I wish I knew what it was called. It
That's
gets
so
stuck in my
cool.
head so bad right now. At least I would say at least once a week. I'm like at work and it's I like all day long. I can't fucking remember what it's called. Let me see.
You mean off of Go Home and Cry, right?
Yeah. Uh,
I am curious to know. I'm gonna let him find it instead of just being like,
yeah.
I could just be like, nah,
it's
don't worry about it. Don't just whatever. But
I was gonna say my bad. That's a yeah. I think I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's definitely inundated
oh, okay,
or
sick.
yeah, inundated.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the words, man. Um, it's like it's not my favorite Pull the Strings release. I'll say that publicly now. But it's the same thing that you were just talking about earlier, where it's like, well, it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of just criticizing something because you've listened to it so much. That's part of it. But then the other reason it's not my favorite is simply because I planned it out really like in advance. And for some reason, I just really prefer my music that's like instantaneous over that.
Yeah. Well, that's actually I feel like that's the only way that I can write. Like pretty much everything that I do now musically is like one take type, just writing in sections, put in the I usually use like drum loops. I don't do the drums myself. I mean, I do. I'll like get a bunch of drum loops together, put them together in a way that sounds okay, and then kind of tweak them from there.
Yeah.
And then I'll put bass over it. Just just in like usually I try to get one thing done a night. So it'll be the bass all one night and then the guitar all one night. And I have no idea what I'm going to play, but it's just whatever, wherever my hands go.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's feels more right to me because
So,
whenever
so would
I,
you say you're using the first idea that comes to mind most of the time? Or?
yes,
Okay,
yep,
cool. Cool.
pretty much.
I like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Like when music is just like either it just flows freely, or even better, I feel like there's another level to it when you have to get something out of your head and it's like a race against time to get it down. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
sounds
I
like.
mean,
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it sounds like you have a very similar writing style with me. Like, I just like a couple drum tracks, and then I play guitar first. I have a bad habit of that, but I should probably start recording bass first, because then it takes forever for me to get back to the bass. But yeah, drum tracks, guitars, and then vocals. That's kind of how I usually write. But
Yeah,
it's
and
that's
then,
what I
just very
do.
straightforward.
and then bass last.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't vibe with the bass so much. So like, and then that's why I record it last. But I really should get in the habit of recording that, just kind of get it out of the way. But it doesn't like have that lead sound to me. So like that's why I want to hear what the guitars sound like first before I record the
Yeah.
bass. But
I kind of have to hear what the guitars are going to sound
yeah,
like before I write
yeah,
bass, because I
yeah,
have to know what the chords are going to be.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really awesome. Talking about songwriting and stuff, did anything change for your songwriting on Hypnagogic Day Blooms, or was it that same process?
I I think the main thing that changed was just sounding more like myself and what comes out, and that goes with the that goes down to the lyrics and everything, just the as opposed to the other small ep I put out before that. I feel like I was trying to sound like something, and with this I was just not trying, I guess, and
Mm,
I like the results better of this one, even
it's
though
very
it's
good.
a lot less black metal.
Yeah,
But the I don't know. I think I'm narrowing down or zoning in on that right now, and kind of adding a little bit more. I think the black metal is gonna show up a little bit later than the
Okay.
next stuff.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good.
Also, I want to agree. It is very good, and it's got some interesting different elements. Like
Yeah,
even some of your own things that you've tagged it with here on Bandcamp. You added like psychedelic
yeah,
rock and like
I I hate tagging things because I have no idea what
yeah,
I don't know if it fits at all. I'm really bad at figuring out genres.
yeah. But I will say that one's fitting
yeah.
because of the way you're playing guitar on this release. It's a very I don't know how to describe it. It actually kind of makes sense that you grew up listening to the Beatles, though. If you can kind of like, I can see a little bit of a tether there.
Yeah, this one it was drastically different. That's why I asked you if it was the same project from. I was like, I wasn't sure. I thought it was Teach 'Em a Weep, but like
Yeah,
it was so drastic change from the last one, and I think for the better. It was I play the opening track fairly frequently, so I think it's great, man. I really like what
Oh,
you're doing
thank
in
you.
this direction.
yeah. Also, we'll just say it was a pleasure to master it for you, man. Like, I appreciate you coming to
Oh,
me
you
for
did a
that.
great job. I Everything shines a lot more than it did.
Yeah, I actually kind of know what I'm doing now, so you got me at a good time. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's a great release. Everybody check that out. Um, any other projects that you have that you want to talk about besides Teach Them to Weep and Terrasic?
I mean, I do Fear of Horses, more ambient stuff.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
I'm
How could I
kind
forget?
of half-assed working on newer stuff for that right now, but I'm trying to really focus on heavier stuff. But I, f- I don't know if I'm gonna. There's a few songs I'm working on right now that are blending like ambient with heavy a lot more than I did, but I don't even know if I'll use them or not, or maybe that'll just be a different project altogether
Yeah.
because it doesn't sound like it really fits with this.
Yeah, by the way, Fear of Horses, that last release that you did with what was his name?
I want to say it's called. I mean, his name's David, but his last name I don't exactly know how to pronounce it. I
Della
would say
Croce?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Della Croce or something.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Anyway, that one, that was a really good release. That is a repeat listen for me as well. It's been on a
Oh,
few
sweet.
times here lately. It's got the vibes, and that was kind of my introduction to ambient music as a genre too. I've never dug into it really. So
Uh, I, if I had to make any suggestions, Jonas Monk is incredible, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Zake, it's S or Zake. Um, he's also really good, but Jonas Monk, his one album, Minimum Resistance, or or is it Minimum Resonance? I think it's Minimum Resistance. Is I have two copies of it on vinyl. I don't even know why. I just had to get. It's like my catcher in the rye or whatever.
Yeah.
I got it saved here. I'll be checking that one out. Yeah, like I said, I have been through this podcast. I've been discovering things like ambient music, noise music, things I had just never been exposed to really before. And, it's all made an impact on my own writing, all this new stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd really like to blend. I don't know. I think I'm just really into blending different types of music, and I think the next stuff I do is gonna take that to a new level. I think for me anyway, just trying to blend
Yeah, I mean,
ambient
you're doing
with
a great job at
heavy.
blending stuff I would never have thought to put together. And that's the beauty of it is everybody, you take your influences, your whole set of influences and cook something unique up. And that's why we have still more music coming out that's worth listening to is because everybody has different material that they've consumed throughout their life that kind of contributes to what they come up with. Which I'm stating the obvious here, but I just think it's really awesome because like there's a lot of music out there. Like it's saturated, but it's still a better time than ever to be a music fan because you can find anything that you would ever want to listen to now.
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely try to keep the optimistic outlook on that because it can get really. It's easy to get pessimistic about however saturated the market is.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it's pretty much anyone who wants to make music can make it, and there's places like Bandcamp that
Hmm.
are really good for artists. And I think Bandcamp really changed my. I'm just gonna say changed my life. I know that might sound a little hyperbolic, but it really did.
That is not hyperbolic. At least it doesn't seem that way to me. I totally understand what you're saying. I mean, it's a big sea change for me, and it's led by Adrian. He kind of like he showed me the light when I met him. Um, to sum it up, basically what happened is I was introduced to Adrian. I See Satan Fall Like Lightning. I was introduced to that project through Jeremy from Dead Languages. And then we got talking about making a split with Pull the Strings. We did that. And then that turned into this label, right? And over the course of that I don't know how long it's been, man. That was like what, May of 2023, right? So it's been a
Yeah.
while now.
Yeah.
over that period of time, you've influenced me more and more to kind of see alternative ways to be an artist and alternative ways to consume music, right? Um, with the whole main shift being just away from things like streaming and towards direct purchasing from the artist, like Bandcamp and Ampwall and stuff like that. And it has I don't know. I mean, all I'm really good at is music. That's not necessarily true. Like I have a few other things I can do in life, but the main thing is music. So having your concept of how music works change so drastically, yeah, it's life changing, I would say. So all that just to justify and back up what you said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that I'm really surprised that more people aren't on Bandcamp, honestly. It's
Yeah.
I guess I'm grateful for it though, because
Yeah.
you know, if everyone was on it, then I mean, I don't know, there'd be more to compete with, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's like good
I also
and
wanted to
bad.
say just real quick. I mean, obviously, I Say State and Fall Like Lightning's fucking awesome, and I think the
Oh
first
yeah.
thing I heard
Thanks.
from that was I want to say it was the one split that you did with, was it Ball?
Yeah.
That was I love that split.
Oh,
It's
really?
so good.
Thanks, man. Yeah. 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 I
That's
think
a good one.
yeah, I've done 3 splits, obviously with Alan, pull the strings, Gormoth, and then Ball. Yeah. Um,
That's right. Gormoth was the other one. I couldn't remember what the other one was.
yeah, yeah, the Ball split, that was cool. He reached out to me because he wanted to play one of my songs on his radio show. And then I thanked him, and then I asked him if he ever wanted to do anything, like, just let me know. And he was like, "Yeah, let's do a split." And like, a month later, we had one out. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I had thought about hitting him up at
Yeah.
some point to see if, because I know I think I'm thinking about the right person, but they have like maybe a Fiverr or something where they do drums for people, and
Hmm.
I absolutely hate that, doing drums or like
Yeah.
programming drums or messing with them at all. I can't stand it. So, but I haven't. But yeah, I need someone to do drums really bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
someday I'll find someone.
It's a problem for all of us non-drummers.
Yeah.
And it sucks too because it's probably the most fun instrument to play as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can maybe play a rock beat and that's about it. I'm not versed on that instrument at all.
Me either.
But the way I do things is I mostly I'll start off with loops from Easy Drummer and then just put them together into a song and then edit it from there. Kind of like what you said. I will say for the thing I'm currently working on that I actually just finished up, I'm not going to announce it here. I mostly started from scratch and just programmed every single hit in myself. And that was, God, it was tedious. And I hated every second of it. But I think I'm really proud of it. So, yeah. It's
That's
it's
awesome.
not the best. Having a real drummer, not just having a real drummer that has access to a room with microphones and an interface that has, 12 to 18 inputs and a computer that can record it. That is hard to find these days. I mean, there's more drummers than ever, but it's always going to be hard to find.
Oh yeah. And drummers are the one thing that is the hardest to find, like always. I know in North Carolina, being in bands and stuff, every single drummer was in like 5 different bands because everyone was just
Yeah.
using them.
Yeah.
That's the same everywhere. That's in Chicago. I hear that all the time. Like guys are in like 5, 6 bands just because everyone needs a drummer.
Oh, it's the most expensive instrument, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's also, I mean, like you were saying, and you need a spot to actually play and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
it.
that's why I'm holding on to Gavin, my drummer for Signosis. Like, better not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though he is in a bunch of bands, but yeah.
I have a drum kit in the basement. I don't know how to play it. My buddy left it here. So I'm like, I thought about trying to record one piece at a time because I don't know how to play. So I was like, maybe I could record one, just like hit the drum over and over again, move on to the next piece. I feel like that would take forever though.
Yeah,
I have an
especially if you don't know what you want to play exactly.
Yeah,
I have an electronic kit that I
yeah,
bought just to like record stuff with, because I started my the old place I lived had a drum kit there, and I was I don't know, I would play on it for like hours and started to get decent. I mean, not good, but decent enough to where I can make some things. And said I was like, "Oh, I'll get this electronic drum kit," but the fucking hi-hat won't work. Like it works, but it's so I don't know. I think just playing an electronic drum kit, there's just the feel is just not there, and it's not
mm,
like
Yeah.
playing regular
That's
drums.
what I've heard, at least unless you get like the top end of
Yeah.
electronic drum kits, then you're sacrificing a lot of feeling for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I think this one I got was like $400 or $500, and it's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I've many times I've gotten close to buying drums to put in this room here that I'm in, but the ceiling is really low, so the reflections would be bad. And also I live with, four other people and it would be too much noise. So
Yeah.
I just don't have the luxury of doing that, which is why I program all my drums or work with Gavin or some other drummer. But yeah, I mean, one thing I will say, as much as I value and appreciate live tracked drums on a release, I don't think I'm like the last person that's ever going to gatekeep like, oh, this doesn't have real drums, so it's not real music. Like I don't care. Get your creativity out, make the vision happen however you can. Not everybody has the luxury of like recording drums, so I don't
Absolutely.
personally care about that kind of thing at all. I'm not uptight about it, but it is always, it's always like a nice cherry on top when you have live track drums for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday or the day before. It's pretty insane what these plugins can do now. I mean, if you just think about it, they're recreating every microphone around a drum kit, and like there's like 50 hits that are ringing out from like playing it back, and it just keeps up with it. Your computer can just do that. That's insane.
If Especially if you have a good computer, mine barely keeps up with stuff, so I have to really I have to kind of work my way around some things and export things at different times that I probably shouldn't have to, but
Oh yeah, that rings
um,
some bells. I've been there before. Yeah, actually, my friend Andrew, who I was in the band Sherwood with, my old emo band, he used to use literally like one of those like Dell, whatever they're called, one of the things you'd see in like an elementary school computer lab. He used to use one of
like the little
those.
notepad or notebook type ones.
Actually, it was a tower, but it was one of the ones you would
Uh,
see in like classrooms, like when I was growing up, at least. I'm 28 years old. Um, and it just somehow he worked with that. Like it was the slowest possible computer you could make music with, but he somehow made it work for a long time. So you can do it. It's just a pain in the ass. Oh yeah. All right. Let's
mm,
see. So I want to go back to vocals for a minute here, if that's cool. Because I relate to you, Sean, in a way. Like we do totally different black metal vocal styles, but I feel like we're both kind of out there and weird compared to most black metal vocalists. And I don't
yeah.
mean that as an insult. I
I
think
no,
it's
think
no,
cool.
I
even like
weird is good.
I think Ball commented on your album. I think he referred to them as like gnome like vocals.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he said goblin or something.
yeah. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, your vocals are very different. It's very cool. I mean, like I love them. So
Well, thanks. I'm definitely new to this style, but I think the one thing that made me feel a lot better about it was one day I showed my one friend, uh, and he said it sounded similar to "thou," and I was like, "Dude, that's." I was like, "I don't think that's true, but I appreciate it, and that's gonna keep me keeping to try doing these." So
Yeah, I mean it's definitely unique from what I typically hear from black metal vocals. I mean, I wouldn't say any two black metal vocalists sound exactly the same. It's one of those styles where everybody does have this kind of thumbprint, this signature, but it at the same time, I feel like, my vocals I've always felt like were kind of outside of the the Overton window, if you will, of black metal vocals a little bit. And then when I heard your vocals, I felt, a little bit kind of reaffirmed, like, hey, we can do this. Like, we don't have to be like everybody else, kind of thing.
Definitely.
And I really enjoy the way you do your vocals. The fact that they're sustainable is like a big plus too. Because like I was saying, mine are not. My black metal vocals are. I can do them for like a couple hours maybe, but then the next day I feel pretty rough.
Yeah, I would say these are the easiest style vocals that I've ever done. But I don't honestly, I don't even really care about I mean, I do care about the vocals sounding good, but I think the main thing for me ever since I was young, actually, because I've been writing like poetry since I was like 15 years old, but lyrics are huge to me. Like
Yeah.
I love lyrics, and that's my favorite part and also my least favorite part at the same time, because I sometimes they're pretty easy, but I don't know. I honestly think it's the hardest part, but the most rewarding part whenever I'm done with a song. I think that it feels the best, like the most accomplished part of it for me, and that's what I care about probably more than anything, honestly.
You'd probably be I'm not surprised, but maybe like just it'd be interesting possibly for you to know. But I think all three of us write lyrics completely differently. I think it's one of those things where like your own personal relationship to writing lyrics is going to be very individualistic and unique from person to person. For me, like I almost exclusively kind of freestyle everything at the microphone. I will
Oh,
literally
that's
get up
awesome.
and record a line, sit down, like edit that at the DAW, and then I'll get up and record the next line. I don't really even think about it too much. It just happens.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, so
I don't,
Oh,
I
really?
don't, I don't even write. I had a real bad habit. I wasn't even writing them down. So like, I don't even know the lyrics to some of my earlier stuff. I
yeah,
started writing it down, but like, yeah, it was a real bad habit. So
I'm just gonna say it, man. I cannot understand the words in your music, so I think it's
yeah,
all right.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I wrote down most of the newer stuff, especially like the collaborative stuff, because like in case someone actually wanted to read them, you know.
Yeah, which is awesome to do, by the way. Like I know there's a few bands on Hauntology now that have lyric videos, and it's really
Hmm.
awesome. Like I like seeing that.
Yeah, that's another thing about this release, I guess, is like I said, the lyrics are a lot more about things that I'm interested in. And minus the first song. The first song I feel like is kind of just like uh I don't know, I guess personal, but it's not even really true. It's just about getting older and feeling like, I don't know, have I lost my, you know, have I gone past my prime type deal? But then the rest of it's completely different from that. Like the second song, Preda King, is about Predagati, like hungry ghosts, and from like Hindu, or is it, yeah, just Middle Eastern religion.
Hmm. Um, I had a thought there, but it wouldn't be anything worth saying because I don't know anything about that. So I'm just gonna save it. But yeah, I mean, so you write your lyrics out and like work on them before you record, is what you're saying?
No. Well, so I think with that second song, Prediking, I did have some of those lyrics written, but I would say probably 20% of it was
Okay.
already written. I try to that one. I think every other song on there I had written after the music was made completely, but I don't know. I guess I just try to listen to it and hear what it sounds like, what lyrics, yeah, what it should be about, I guess.
Okay.
Like the fourth one on there is about astral projection, kind of. It's I don't know if you know what that like out of body experience.
Yeah.
How like the succubus was like, you know, that thing that sat on people's chests or whatever. But um, yeah,
Yeah, that's also an awesome topic. I guess I'm just curious, like, so you're saying you write and record the music first, then you listen and decide what the lyrics will be. But do you write the lyrics before you record the vocals, or do you like kind of freestyle it like we do?
oh no, I definitely write them before I record. I
Okay.
have everything planned
Hmm.
out usually.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. Cause see, I feel like there's no right or wrong way, obviously. Like that goes without saying. But I really respect people that like plan things out more like that. You know, it makes you kind of, at least when I do it, it makes me feel like if it is good when I do it that way, then I know it's good, kind of thing. Like, you know, like it's been
Yep.
edited, kind of. It's like giving a manuscript to an editor, kind of thing. Not
Yep.
literally, but something like that. Because when I'm freestyling all my lyrics, a lot of the times I'll be like, "Crap, I said it this way when I should have said it that way." But oh well, it's too late now, kind of thing.
Yeah, I usually have every detail kind of planned out because I mean, like I said, that's what I'm used to. Uh, Mainly used to just do vocals in bands, so
Yeah.
doing the whole music part's kind of new to me.
I mean,
Hmm.
traditionally, that's what you're expected to do, right? You're supposed to be like a lyricist, like a poet. You're supposed to write these things down and then turn them into something that suits the song. It's kind of like the final step of the recording process. That's what you always saw in those documentaries from bands growing up and stuff, you know. So, like I said, I have a lot of respect for doing it that way, and I think it usually does lend to better results. But there's also something to be said for the compulsion and just having to get it out and just it being in the heat of the moment. You know, there's it's a spectrum, and I don't think there's a right or wrong. I really do appreciate both ways of doing it.
Yeah, I know Chat Pile. He, at least from what my understanding, he at least for their first couple EPs, I believe at least that he pretty much wrote those on the fly, like just went in the studio. And I mean, you can definitely tell with their stuff. He sounds like he's just kind of freestyling and very
Hmm.
unhinged.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you
But
guys have listened to Chat Pile or not, but
I did
Um,
check out that newest record a little bit. I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't listened to it all the way through, but it's awesome. I can say that.
I think I saw him at a show. I think they were playing with Torture. Uh, but I don't know because my buddy like drugged me to the show, so I didn't know who was playing. But I think I saw him in Milwaukee. Yeah,
I just watched a live video of theirs. It was really good. They seemed like they'd be really good live.
yeah. The show was killer. I don't remember who was all playing, but I just remember Torture because my buddy was obsessed with that guy. It was like their first show, so
I don't think I knew who that is.
yeah, it's like a weird slam band. The vocalist sounds like a frog. Yeah.
Yeah, some of that. So I like all like pretty much all types of music.
Mhm.
Slam. I mean, I love slam whenever
Yeah.
it's good, but like
Yeah.
some of times the vocals really are the only thing that turn me off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can
Yeah.
listen to heavy shit all day long
Yeah.
and just like stupid heavy stuff, but
Yeah.
whenever the vocals just kind of do that gurgly thing,
Yeah.
the whole time, yeah, I don't know, kind of turns me off. But
Yeah. There's a you got to really dig in. Like when you're like listening to slam, like there's gonna be so many shit bands, but every once in
yeah,
a while you'll find a gem. And like the genre, it seems like it doesn't take itself too seriously, so that's probably a good thing, you know.
yeah. What's that one? record label. Is it Been There, Seen That? I feel like they put out a lot of slam stuff, but some of that's really good. I
Mm,
want to say it's Been There, Seen That. I'm not sure.
I'm not familiar.
yeah.
They kind of put out like almost like MySpace era deathcore sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I remember. I don't. I think like early Disfiguring the Goddess was like what kind of got me into slam.
Oh
So
yeah.
But
good.
even it was kind of more like deathcore, but like some of it was kind of brutal death metal. But yeah, he was. Big Chocolate, I think is his name.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
he's he's doing some weird stuff now. I don't know if you've heard
Well,
any of the new stuff.
that newest album, I think it's the newest one. It has like a purple cover.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Disfiguring the Goddess. I'm pretty sure it's like a purple cover, but there's some songs on there that are amazing.
Hmm.
There's one song that he has a female vocalist on there. That's probably just a sample, but
Yeah,
it's like very Middle Eastern sounding.
yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah. I'm looking at my Bandcamp. The first two albums were Deprive and Black Earth Child by Disfiguring the Goddess. So, yeah. So, like, I'm pretty sure that band actually got me into Bandcamp. So,
See, that's really interesting because I'm going to ask this about you too, Sean. If you could just find a way, I don't know if it's easy for you. You buy a lot of stuff on Bandcamp, so you might
Oh
have to
yeah,
scroll for
I
a
have a
minute.
bit of a problem.
But I just want to know what the first thing you bought on Bandcamp was. I'm really curious.
I know what it is. It's Jonas Monk, Minimum Resistance. that
There you
that
go.
album.
2 shout outs in on the episode.
Yeah, dude, that's what made me get Bandcamp because I wanted the vinyl, and
mhm.
yeah, that's whenever I really got into ambient pretty heavy, and then started finding like black metal bands. And
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, what black metal bands got you guys into black metal? Because
You go first, Adrian.
mine was Black Crown. Uh, I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
No, I haven't.
They're not a very big band, but I I wasn't really into black metal, and I think their album is just a couple years old now, which shows how long it took me to get into black metal. But it's so good. I can't really pronounce the name of the album, but it's like Temple of something. Um,
Yeah.
Black Crown Temple. Let's see. No results on Bandcamp.
why is that?
There is a band called that on Bandcamp from England, but I don't think it's the same band.
No, I don't know why that's not coming up. I'm gonna search my collection because I know
Yeah, there is this. Sorry if you were going to say something.
I was just gonna say Satanith Records is the one that put it out, but I was wrong. It's not Temple. It's Black Crown and then Caverns of Fantifax.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yes,
Just found it.
so good.
I'm trying to think what kind of got me into it. I mean, Gnaw Their Tongues. I don't know if you'd call that black metal. It's more like black.
What is it again?
Gnaw Their Tongues. It's like black and electronic noise, but like real black metal. Probably I don't know. Like Batushka was a big one for me. The first one they put out.
Yeah,
before they had the schism.
I remember that album. It might have been 2 albums, but I remember them being really good.
Yeah. Do you know like all the history of that band?
Not a whole lot.
They split up.
Like, I know there were 2 different bands calling themselves Batushka. Yeah.
There was like a war, like who was the real Batushka, and then the people were making like fake Batushkas. So like there was like 10 Batushkas. Like,
how do you spell that?
How do you spell it?
Well, the actual name is in like I don't even know what the alphabet is called, but like it's Russian characters.
Yeah,
but it's BATUSHKA.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Yeah.
That's a good shout, though. I mean, I honestly got into it all at once, so I don't know. It'd be hard for me to give you just one band. You know, I mean, it was everything from, I mean, not just all of the Scandinavian bands, and then all the popular like
Yeah.
North American bands. Like I just got into it really, really hard and became a huge nerd. And honestly, a lot of it felt and still feels kind of superficial to me, like the really satanic bands and stuff. Like I'm not into that too much.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
that's kind of what Black Crown like. I and that's the thing. I'm not really into like satanic shit too much, but that for some reason I don't know why, but that album that's probably my favorite black metal album, and
yeah,
probably always will be.
I mean, sometimes it just transcends and it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's plenty of bands that I do respect that are like forwardly satanic bands in that genre, like Taka or like Gorgoroth or even 1349. But there are some bands where it would just kind of be like, man, this is a little much. It's kind of cheesy, so it didn't
Oh
always
yeah.
work for me. But like I said, I was just into all of it when I got into it. I got hardcore into it. What's more interesting for me to talk about is where I kind of branched off into post black metal or black gaze, because obviously it started with like Death Heaven for me, but that's when my tastes started to that's what kind of influenced me as a musician more than just like all the mainstream black metal.
Yeah. I was like Sadness, An Autumn for Crippled Children were a couple of the post black that I kind of got into. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. The particular record really kind of pushed me for like black metal in general, but obviously like Death Heaven put out Rose to Judo was I really like that record. I like that one even better than Sunbather.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like for me,
Eh,
like what got me to like the way I write is just because like I wanted to do like the black metal vocals kind of with like an atmosphere kind of like Godspeed You Black Emperor. So that's kind of what led me to
I
where
can
I'm at.
definitely see whenever
Yeah.
you would put that in the Discord about Godspeed You Black Emperor, and I listened to
Mm,
it, I could definitely see the influences.
yeah. Yeah, I really like the long, like droning build-ups and then just like kind of like an epic. I don't know. I don't
That's
really know how to
definitely a good
describe
word
that.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I try to focus, like especially the longer tracks. The shorter ones, I've heard people say it sounds like I kind of like Deftones, which I think pretty fair. I
I can
play a
see
lot.
that too.
I play the guitar a lot like Stephen Carpenter, because he does like he just plays those like octave chords. I think he calls them, and then just like the ninths. Like I know he plays like 8 strings now, so 9 strings, but I just play like drop C, and then I don't know. It's the same style of like Billy Corgan and stuff. So, but I mean, like there's some influence from that too. But
Have you
um,
That's the
guys
main
listened
thing.
to
Sorry, you go first, Sean.
I just wanted to say, have you guys listened to Glassing at all?
I
They're
did
um,
buy
I'm
I did buy
familiar
one of
with
their
it.
albums on Bandcamp, but I
dude,
haven't
they're
checked it
so
out yet.
good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, all their albums are awesome.
Actually, that recommendation was from you. That's where I got that. And I picked up one of their albums, but I haven't listened to it yet.
That's a really good I I would say black gaze, I think.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm not really good with genre
Yeah. Well, I mean,
tags.
I'm mostly when it comes to extreme metal, I really am mostly into dissonant death metal lately for the last like year since I started my Disso death band Signosis. Um and so like stuff like Defacement's 3 albums that they've put out, some of
Yeah,
my favorite extreme metal.
yeah,
Um
yeah. Those are
Oh
killer.
yeah, it is awesome. Have you heard the new Sepulchral Curse, or however you say that?
Sepulchral Curse, no, I haven't checked that out yet.
Oh, that's a really good album.
Well, it's going in the wish list too. I've got a big I've already got so many albums I need to buy now. I've got more.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like adding left and right here.
I think it's called Crimson Moon Evocations.
Got you. Crimson Moon Evocations. There it is.
Yeah, I think like some of the labels that I've found through Bandcamp have just been amazing. Like Transcending Obscurity.
Hmm.
Um, there, there's so many. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Well, the one that Sepulchral Course came out on is Dark Descent, and they're obviously very great too.
Yeah, yep.
Transcending Obscurity is just a machine. So much good music.
Oh, it's unreal. It's pretty much I don't think there might be like one or two uh albums on their whole discography uh or every release by them that I don't love.
Yeah, there's this one. This deserves a shout out. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm gonna go to their page and find it. It's really good. Like, I wouldn't call it exclusively dissonant death metal, but definitely like in that vein. If I can find the label's page, if I could spell it right, that would help. Here we go. It's one of the recent-ish releases. Right here. This album Caldera by Pillar of Light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a really cool project. I could be mistaken, but I think that this is the same guy that did one of my favorite blackened death metal albums of all time, um, which is for some reason blanking right now, but I'll find it in just a second.
That's the Pillar of Light. That's like doomy, right? Like
Yeah. So, like I said, it's not exclusively like dissonant death metal. It's just got some of those elements in there, but
yeah.
I feel like dissonant black metal, dissonant death metal. It's kind of like a very broad umbrella.
it is a very. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, almost all of it is dissonant to begin with.
Yeah.
So very broad in that sense.
Yeah. It's a vibe. People.
I feel bad. I just keep bringing up bands, but I just realized that I'm wearing their shirt. But Unfurl, I don't know if you ever listen to them, but they're also another really good, I guess, black gaze band. But
I haven't checked out Unfurl.
they're
Nulling
and they're
Roots. That's
I
the
think
band
they're
I
from
was thinking of.
Pittsburgh. Who was it?
Nulling Roots. So that's another band. I think I could be wrong. My apologies, everybody, but I think that Pillar of Light is the same guy that wrote Into the Gray by Nulling Roots, which is one of the best black and death metal albums I've ever heard. It's so emotional and so heavy, but like not contrived in any way. And also the songs are really long, like 12, 13 minutes. So there's just a lot to absorb there. But yeah, Into the Gray by Nulling Roots. Definitely add that to your wish list.
Into the Grave.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time like top recommendations for extreme metal, I would say.
I don't know why it's not coming up. What was the band name?
Nulling Roots. So Nullling Roots, all is one word.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there it is. Nice.
It's so good.
We got to do a podcast where we just talk about like music recommendations.
I mean, we do it every episode, but
That's
this is just we're getting into it
Yeah.
more than usual
Yeah.
today, which is it's totally fine.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, yeah, I can't.
I was gonna. That's why I said sorry, because that's probably my favorite thing to talk about is just
Yeah.
music
No,
that I found
for
on
sure.
Bandcamp.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't expecting to have post-hardcore as a common influence, but it's just cool to like see where people come from. And like you said, you got into like heavier music because of Under Oath. I mean, that's so cool because that's so similar to my own journey, and now here we are with like whatever you can call what we're doing now.
Yeah, I feel like you said, I mean, your stuff is pretty hard to pin down also as far as like genre, like specific genre. It's not really straightforward.
Well, that's the fun of it sometimes, is just combining different things into something new. And sometimes you just want to lean into something that's already been done before, but do it in your own way,
Yeah.
There's room for everything here. So
Well, I feel like the I See Satan Fall Like Lightning stuff, that's definitely a unique take, I think, on, like you said, I mean, you're bringing in your own influences, and the Godspeed You Black Emperor. I mean, it's definitely there, and I love the slow builds.
Yeah.
And it
No,
is epic. That's a good
yeah.
word for it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I really just like, I don't know, like if you're patient enough with the music, like the payoff is worth it to me. Like that's how I always felt with like Godspeed. You know, like it's music you kind of just got to sit down and like listen to, or even just driving. I love playing it. You
Yep.
know, very grandiose.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ways to listen to long songs is driving.
Mhm.
All right, so we are at an hour 10 here. I don't want to wrap things up unnecessarily. There's no rush, but do you have anything on the ticket left, Adrian?
No, I think we covered a lot, but we'll obviously have Sean back on the pod. You know,
Yeah, for sure. It's been great talking to you, man. Good to meet you, and cool that we have some stuff in common I didn't know about.
Yeah, it was good talking to you guys. I feel like
Very, very
it's
awesome.
I've talked to you guys like through Discord a lot. It's nice to
yeah,
actually almost face to face.
Yeah.
yeah. This is crazy that this is the first time we've actually like talked to each other.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody make sure to go pre-order the new album from Teach Them to Weep and
We'll
check
pick up.
out.
It's gonna be out, so just
Yeah,
buy
it'll
it.
be out
Go
from
buy
now. All right,
it.
so go buy it.
Yeah.
Fork over your monies, and also check out Fear of Horses, Sean's ambient project. Really good stuff as well. And we appreciate everybody checking out Dissonant Echoes. I believe this was episode 7, so we're still doing the damn thing. I do want to apologize briefly for the little bit of a break between episodes. So sorry about that, guys, but we're rolling along.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you next time. Hey, thanks for checking out the latest episode of Dissonant Echoes, the official Hauntology Records podcast. Definitely go check out the new Teach Them to Weep EP that Sean released, and check out everything else that we've got over at the Hauntology Records Bandcamp page. And let us know what you think and get involved. We have a Discord server that you can join at the link in the description of this podcast. And we appreciate your time and your fandom. So thanks for sticking around, and definitely subscribe if you haven't, so that you can check out the next episode that we release. And we look forward to having you there. To finish off this episode, we're going to play the 5th track from the new EP from Teach Them to Weep, Hypnagogic Dayblooms. The track name I can't really pronounce, but it's a good one. It's a really, really good one, so enjoy.